Good morning. It's Thursday, January 11th, 2024. This is your Georgia WeatherNet morning update. Radar checks clear this morning. Our infrared satellite imagery, not the same. We do have some clouds really cutting through the middle part of the state, so mostly cloudy skies for South Georgia, mainly clear skies up in North Georgia, and the clouds indicate moisture in the atmosphere, and that's going to be one of our players for another severe weather risk for tomorrow. We'll talk about all that. Let's take a look at our current temperatures around the state with the clouds down in South Georgia. Well, it's chilly, but not as cold. We have those low to mid 40s. North Georgia, clear skies with the 20s. So that's the big difference you see when you have that blanket of cloud cover as we get started on these winter mornings. Let's take a look at our severe weather outlook. This is going to be for today. We do have a general thunderstorm risk for South Georgia. That covers Albany, Valdosta, over to Brunswick and St. Simon's Island. The rest of the state should be clear of any thunderstorm activity, and most of these thunderstorms for South Georgia will be fairly late as we move through the overnight hours tonight and into tomorrow morning. And then after daybreak tomorrow, level 3 out of 5 severe weather risk. That goes right up to downtown Atlanta, then south through Macon, Columbus, Albany, Statesboro, Augusta, Milledgeville, and almost to Savannah with that level 3 out of 5 severe weather risk. Going to be a little bit of a different setup for tomorrow compared to what we had on Tuesday. But we have a level 2 out of 5 risk covering the rest of Atlanta up to Roswell and Cherokee County and Canton, and then stretching up the I-85 corridor, and then in southeast Georgia as well, including the Georgia coastline. So, again, going to be an active weather day. We'll take a look at the modeling. We'll start this at 8 a.m. Going to be pretty quiet, as I mentioned, across the state of Georgia, other than that cloud cover in South Georgia. So we'll continue on through 10 o'clock this morning, 10:30, 11. Still not a whole lot going on, maybe a few showers, trying to move up toward the Georgia coastline as we move through the late morning hours. Other than that, not really much. That wind will be fairly calm through the day today as well. We had toward 3:30, now 4 o'clock. And then start to see a little bit of green move into southwest Georgia later on through the late afternoon and evening hours. Let me just quickly move forward here. So this is 9:30 tonight. There are those showers coming up. So again, more of that Gulf moisture moving in to South Georgia. That'll continue to push on up into the mid-state. So we're going to have warm, unstable air. That's going to be our big difference. We didn't have a lot of instability on Tuesday. We just had that strong frontal boundary. Tomorrow, warm, unstable air. And when that frontal boundary pushes through, that's just going to help light things up, especially ahead of that main line. And then some wind shear also associated, so the chance of some of these storms could spin up. So through the overnight hours, those little light showers continue to hang around, mainly south of I-20. Warm, humid air as we get started tomorrow morning. I mean, it's almost going to feel tropical in a few spots tomorrow, especially for this part, middle of January. And then we continue through around 6 o'clock tomorrow morning and still looking at those scattered showers around. We're really going to watch out after 7 a.m. We start to head past daybreak for these storms to get a little bit more energy. So the possibility of some strong to severe thunderstorms will get started by late morning or mid-morning tomorrow and then continue as we head toward noon. We can see some reds now starting to pop up, 10:45 tomorrow morning, and then getting closer to noon, some strong to severe thunderstorms stretching from Macon down the I-16 corridor towards Statesboro, and then even into South Georgia as well. So let's continue on through. We're heading toward 1 o'clock tomorrow. The frontal boundary cutting right through central Alabama, up through Birmingham, and then up toward the northeast through Gadsden and Anniston, and that starts to move into northwest Georgia. So you see how it's kind of fanned out. The showers are a little bit broader up in the northern part of the state. So that's just going to be heavier rain, not as much of the severe weather. Got a little bit more stable air, but then all the little dots just kind of dotting around middle and south Georgia. Those will be your strong to severe thunderstorms as we continue moving through the day tomorrow. So let's continue on in 3 o'clock. Tomorrow afternoon, still looking at those thunderstorms. The frontal boundary passing through Atlanta around 3:30, 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So we'll look out for some strong to severe thunderstorms there, really all the way down to Columbus, stretching up to Gainesville. And then let's continue pushing that line as we head toward 4:45, 5:30 tomorrow afternoon. Things will be clear in northwest Georgia, metro Atlanta. Still looking at some thunderstorms, mainly in south and southeast Georgia. And then we continue to push that line through by tomorrow evening, and it starts to fade out as well. And once that frontal boundary passes through, our severe weather risk will start to drop significantly, but still going to be very windy as we move through the day tomorrow and into tomorrow evening. So that'll be a big concern as well. Another windy storm system, but you can see the big difference in that setup. Most of our activity will not be associated with the main line itself. It'll be well out ahead of it. So that's going to bring our severe weather risk much wider time window anyway tomorrow. So just be weather aware starting in the mid-morning hours all the way into the late afternoon and early evening hours tomorrow. And again, that severe weather threat for middle Georgia and down in the southeast Georgia will be the longest standing that we'll have through the day. So make sure you have a way to get those alerts throughout the day tomorrow. And, of course, going to keep you up to date right here on the Georgia Weather Net. That's the latest forecast. Now let's take a look at your local forecast from northwest Georgia to southeast Georgia.